Heading east off the New Jersey coast, a U.S. Navy tanker is being towed out to sea to be scuttled as the newest addition to the Shark River Artificial Reef System, becoming the 104th vessel to be sunk as part of the reef system along the New Jersey coast. YOG-58 was commissioned in 1944 and served as a fuel oil tanker during the remaining years of World War II. After the end of the war, the vessel was assigned to the mothball fleet and then later designated as scrap. Conservationists and state biologists would then convince the Navy to reassign the ship to the Artificial Reef Program. Bill Figley is the director of the Artificial Reef Program for the state of New Jersey.
Well, we're on the YOG-58, which is a 174-foot former Navy oil tanker that was built during World War II.
Most people who come to the New Jersey shore usually think of the boardwalk, the beaches, the sand, and the amusements. I think a lot of people don't understand that there are thousands, literally thousands of shipwrecks along the coast that have sunk because of storms or war or hurricanes, accidents, collisions, things like that. There are 14 different artificial reefs, for example, along the coast of New Jersey. The wreck that we're sinking today is the 104th shipwreck that the state of New Jersey and its sponsors have sunk as part of the artificial reef system.
Well, the demolition team is setting charges. We're going to scuttle this vessel to build habitat for marine life and a place for fishermen to go and scuba divers to investigate.
According to Bill, funding these wrecks to be scuttled is the most daunting task. Most of the funding comes from donations and grants offered by local organizations that will hope to benefit from their efforts.
Greater Point Pleasant Charter Boat Association is donating this vessel in memory of him, and they helped pay for quite a bit of the money that was needed to prepare and tow this vessel to the Shark River Reef.
Hi, my name's Pete Grimbliss from the Charter Boat Association. Greater Point Pleasant Charter Boat Association was started about 15 years ago by a group of captains on the Manasquan River. Over the years we've run many tournaments, shark fishing, blue fishing, fluke tournaments, and we were able to put some money together. Now that we had the money together, we decided to put it back into conservation efforts. And one of those efforts is ship sinking, creating artificial reefs for the fishermen of the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, this vessel will be renamed. I believe it's the Captain Bart, for a former party boat captain who died last year.
Captain Bart was named after one of our past members, a real very highly thought of member, Charlie, Captain Bart Rodzansky. Charlie owned a local tackle shop. He ran a charter boat with Bart and Yeti, and he was a past tournament director of Mako-Mania, of our main shark fishing tournament.
These shipwrecks serve as an oasis in an underwater desert of mud and sand where natural reefs are far and few between. A habitat for fish, crustaceans, and mollusks to create their own ecosystems to thrive and to grow. One of the largest and most successful of these wrecks is the USS Algol, a favorite of divers as well as fishermen. The Algol, sunk in 1991, has flourished, and its rusting hulk is now teeming with life where once only a barren ocean floor existed. Since the Algol, several more ships have been added to the Shark River Reef system.
Appreciate it. You got us right midships. It was excellent. Visibility was good. Just a beautiful dive.
The Billy D and the Mako-Mania are two of the most recent.
The Mako-Mania wreck we got through Bill Figley and the Navy. Got 106 65-foot tanker, a water tanker manufactured in 1944, only used for 2 years, and was put in mothballs after that. So we talked to Bill, he was able to secure it, and about 3 months later we had our second shipwreck. Because of the height of the Mako-mania, we had to sink it on the Shark River Reef, about 15 miles due east of here.
The Mako-mania has only been down since July of 1998 and is well on its way to accomplishing its goal as a reef. Billy D has been completely cocooned in a thick growth of muscles slowly being transformed into an oasis on a barren landscape. A 1,200-pound anchor is dropped from the stern of the ship to keep the vessel near the designated position to be sunk. Once the anchor is taken hold, the tugboat Tenacious moves in to transfer personnel to the vessel. The New Jersey State Police Bomb Disposal Unit and U.S. Navy demolitions experts has taken on the task of sending her to the bottom. Explosive charges will be placed in predetermined areas of the ship in hopes that it will sink on an even keel and sit upright on the bottom.
You got high explosive Tetratol, C4, and Demex. And what you're seeing there, that cord is the detonating cord. Hey fellas!
She's 174 feet in length and 66 feet high, giving her a least depth of 64 feet if she settles upright in 130 feet of water. If she heels over on her 33-foot beam, that will put her closer to a depth of 100 feet. All of the portholes, a favorite artifact of divers, have been removed, as well as the bridge equipment, leaving only a few backing plates and an aluminum helm stand behind. The deck is covered in rigging that will make it an easy snag for a dive boat's grapple, but a menace to unsuspecting fishermen who could easily lose an anchor if not careful. The bomb squad makes a few last-minute checks before setting the timer on the detonator, then radios Tenacious over to transfer back aboard the tug and the police boat waiting nearby. Now it's just a matter of time. Everyone is ordered to pull back at least a quarter of a mile so no one will be hit by the eventual flying debris. The violent explosion rips large holes in the hull, and the inrush of water displaces the billowing smoke as Captain Bart begins to settle immediately in the stern. Regardless of intent, it is an awe-inspiring and emotional sight for any mariner to watch as a seemingly insatiable ocean slowly consumes a vessel. Within minutes, the stern glides beneath the waves and Captain Bart stands straight up, as if at attention, making one last salute before entering into the next life as an artificial reef. Wavering for a few lingering moments, Captain Bart finally gives in to the mounting swells and slips eerily below the surface as the last gasp of air escapes through the churning water, briefly marking the final resting place beneath us. Lying port-side down on the bottom of a cold, dark ocean, Captain Bart rests peacefully in an eternal emerald twilight. Empty portholes appear as lifeless eyes in contrast to the gray superstructure that now looms white in this monochrome world. The merciful wounds inflicted are gaping holes of jagged steel. The euthanasia is complete. From death stems new life. And in this, we at the top of the food chain must give back to the most rudimentary of life forms to maintain the infinite revolving door that we call life.